to be or not to be.
Hi everybody, and welcome as we slowly finish off doing the adjustments. We've had, not too different from last week, technical difficulties. Everybody loves technical difficulties. Some of us have gotten new computers, and some of us forgot to update the software. I don't know who that could have been. and then one of us is away. Her daughter is performing at a spring talent show. It's Shauna, by the way. And in the meantime, we wait for one more judge to join us because of a time zone issue. You know, it happens. We're all over the world, or all over North
America.
Yeah, not quite the world.
Yet.
Yeah. My lovely colleagues and I will entertain you while I painstakingly finish nudging the Zoom windows to fit everything we've got here.
Why is it on my... What is this? What? Oh, okay.
I was a huge fan of Voyager rather than Next Gen.
Really?
I don't know why. Probably because they were actually seeking out new life and new civilizations and boldly going where no man has gone before. Now, while I understand it wasn't exactly their, choice, they were actually doing it. It always kind of made me chuckle when it would sit there and go, like, to boldly go where no one has gone before. So we're going to this planet. We've had dealings with them before. Everything's fine. You're not okay.
Quit going
to be fair, for
places.
Well, to be fair, they went to, or for like the first few seasons, they were basically recycling TOS episodes. I mean, they had budget issues. I mean, right. They're the flagship, and they had to be in all the politically difficult situations. There we go. However, they did run into the biggest and scariest of all enemies, the bluegill.
The bluegill?
Season 2 episode Conspiracy, where that one dude had like a giant bug living in his chest.
Oh.
And like a whole bunch of other like admirals had like little bugs living on their skins.
Yes.
Yeah. They had a little like tail sticking out to breathe, and it was just like
yeah, it's spooky.
I always found it funny when people were kind of raging against Picard, like the show.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, what did Picard do this time?
No, I just found it funny because everyone was like, it's supposed to be a utopian society. Why is there corruption? And I was like, just putting my hand up, like, because it's run by humans.
Honestly, my biggest problem with it wasn't so much like the corruption and all that. It was more, okay, so this is a Galaxy class starship, right? How are you maneuvering it like it's an A-wing? Like you're dogfighting in a Galaxy class? What are you doing?
Okay, but to be fair, it's like dogfighting in space is not the same as dogfighting in an atmosphere. You don't have to worry about things like aerodynamics and wind.
True, but have you seen the size of the Enterprise's impulse engines by comparison to the ship? They're
right.
Tiny.
Okay.
Like they're significantly smaller than say.
But there's no inertia in like you could give it like a 5-pound boost and you're gonna move.
Eventually,
it's gonna be slow, but like you're gonna move. But so if you have like future technology, and when I say future technology, I mean hand wavy future technology. Like, don't look too far into this.
Oh God, don't do that to me. Especially when this
See,
thing had a
that-
hard time. I'm dodging disruptor shots from that D12 from Generations.
All right,
This
Charlie,
is
to
why I
answer your
prefer Star
question,
Wars.
yes, we'll let you.
This is the
Let you do
nerdiest
your
conversation
thing.
ever.
Uh,
I just realized I'm not.
See, that's why I'm a Star Wars fan. Because like Star Trek is all like you have to bounce the particle beam off the main deflect, and they just make up stuff. And Star Wars is like, this one goes there, that one goes there.
I would suggest there is actually a song literally called "The USS Makes Shit Up." It is
I
a
think I've
literal
heard
song,
it, actually, yeah.
and in fact, one of the lines was, "And I said, bounce the graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish. That's the way we do things. Like we make up shit up as we wish. Klingons and Romulans, they pose no threat to us. Because if we find we're in a bind, we'll just make some shit up."
Yeah, that's where I got it.
All right. Now, speaking of making shit up, you're all in the land of the giants. And we're going to have some fun there tonight.
This is real life.
For those watching, we got a lovely view count at the moment. Thank you to Jane for popping some stuff in chat. Vlas the Ass, who was having computer troubles as well, will be joining us occasionally in chat to interject with some things, maybe some improv challenges or some other way to say hi, hello, and take this. All right, so Charlie has volunteered to do the preamble today. So everybody, sit back, relax, and get ready to judge his performance.
You put it like that. Jesus. It would seem their suspicions were correct. The deflective demeanor of the priestess was not but a mask to hide the scandal the temple had faced. As the party eavesdropped on a conversation between Aaron Ray and the temple chaplains, the division within the temple became clear. It took a lot of coercion, but a heartfelt speech from Blas and the courtly graces of Mr. Brandybones eventually led Aaron Ray to reveal the situation. The domain of the Cloud Giant sits atop of Mighty Mountain, and at the depths of the same mountain reside the Fire Giants. Although they share ancient lineage, they could not be more unalike. According to temple history, there is an ore within the mountain that feeds the sacred flame, their method of communion with Saren Ray, while the Fire Giants had coveted this for some time, causing tension between the cultures. Despite the shaky truce, they were able to make with their lost kindred someone who had taken these ores and profaned the sacred fire. Vlas offered to aid the party and, in a not-so-subtle manner, hyped up the opportunity to spy on the temple denizens. After Brandybones, Nanners, and Eridan stepped in to fix that mess, they negotiated an offer. The party would help find who was behind this and protect her reputation. However, because of Vlas's enthusiasm for mayhem, Aaron Ray made Selena promise to keep them all in line.
All right. And so, we go now to... we'll fast forward a couple of hours from there, as our champions... Let's get a more intriguing sound going on. Oh, I forgot I gotta stop them both and then start the other. There we go. So, as our heroes decide to take a moment to regroup, to think about the best plan of action. Despite the issues on board the ship, actually no, I'm going to use that for my advantage. Because of the issues on board the ship, they decided to give their crew some space and meet in the shiny bar, which Mr. Brandybones and Vlas had made their way through only a couple days prior. And as you had your pints and were told that the clerk/bartender, Clarkson, can be trusted, you began, and seeing as though there are no other patrons in here, you began to formulate your plan.
Right.
You know,
Fuck. So
go on, fuck.
it's just always difficult with clergy because there's a good to fair chance. There's a good to fair chance that they still have it. It's still here. It's just hidden. My guess is they're going to go to war, and then after a short time later, come back with the stoning question and say, "Oh, look how good we are."
Well, I mean, there's always that possibility, I suppose, but the question is that if you're clergy, where do you hide something of such grand importance?
Normally in a place no one would look.
But you also don't want to profane it. Otherwise, profane it. That's the problem of being clergy.
I feel like they probably don't care at this point. They already took it.
There's a point, I suppose.
At that point, Clarkson comes over with everybody's drinks, and I'll let you all tell me what you've ordered after. And by the way, Mr. The Ass did leave this for me to give you. And he passes a note that says, "I'm going to the Sacred Fire. See you in a bit, losers."
Okay, that was rude.
Yeah, I assume I thought that was just what he just said on a regular
That's
basis.
honestly one of the best compliments that you could possibly give someone.
But I wanted to go check that out myself in a little bit because I need the coal ashes to do my part of all of this.
There is a good to fair chance if they are actually devout and they just don't like her. There's a good to fair chance that the stones never left the temple.
Eridan.
Hmm?
This might be a little odd, but do you know how a place like this would choose their leadership? Is there like competing sects that then compete in some manner? I'm used to all these, I think.
Can I make a religion roll? And
You may indeed. As far as you know, they probably, they get all the clergy together and battle to the death, and last clergy standing is the new chaplain.
They
From what
also
I've
have
got-
a big guy right here we could ask.
True.
Like right in front of us.
Yeah, he's literally right there. Hello.
Hello.
Wow. I'm sorry, it's just every time I see you, you just look so... Anyway. We have a question for you.
Yes, of course. What may I do for you?
First off, where do you even get glasses that big? And second of all, how are new head priests or priestesses chosen?
Oh, very good, sir. Yes, well, first and foremost, we do have a local optometrist in our cloud domain who services, of course, other folk like myself, in the same way that you might find somebody from the undead or the tombs. Forgive me, I'm not too familiar with skeletal culture, to, of course, service your needs. And as far as the changing of the the temple, well, it comes to, and we've got an improv challenge. I think this is going to be good, but well, it comes down to, of course, only certain family members of divinity are able to be chosen for this sacred duty. There is a mark of Sarenrae that is found in certain bloodlines, but they are not entirely individual. And so anybody who has this very unique and sacred birthmark can submit themselves to the people and be chosen. In fact, I remember the last one was not too long ago. And we have our first flashback where this will be a challenge for, I guess there's only 3 of us here tonight, so all 3 of you, as we get into the Battle of the Clergy. So, I'll let each one of you come up with your giant persona. And so, we set the stage with, you each have a turn to, all 3 of you are on stage at the same time. It is not too dissimilar from an American presidential debate, for better or worse. And so, let's get some, we need a good, I think, we need a good music track for that.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, sorry, that's wrong. That's Rule Britannia. Whoops.
Yakety sax.
It's all good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to bring you the 3 candidates who bear the mark of Sarenrae. Let her light shine. Let her light shine, folks. Let her light shine. Thank you. I'm Humongous, and I'm here to now give our 3 candidates a chance to tell you why you should vote for them. And we'll start with you. And he points to you, Charlie.
Howdy. Pleasure to be here. My name is Father Gaius. Some of y'all know me from Sunday Mass. I recognize a couple of you, and I recognize a couple of you haven't been coming to Mass. Don't think I didn't notice. It's all right, though. Sarenrae lights everything up just fine. We are while the fire giants light up the base of the mountain, we light up the sky and the rest of the world. That is our job. That is what we do. And I got to tell you, we're all doing a fine job. We're doing a fine job. We are representing Sarenrae in the very best way we possibly can. And I declare, here and now, should you vote me in for the role of high clergyman, I will do my absolute best to bring forth the holy light of Sarenrae so that all of us, including the ones that don't come to Sunday Mass, Jonathan, I'm looking at you, feel the warmth and the light of Sarenrae. Now, can I get an amen?
Amen! All right, well, that was really something. Thank you very much, Father Gaius. Don't you all miss out on Sunday Mass. Next up, we have, and he humongous points to you, Ryan.
I'm Tiny Tim. I just recently learned about the miracle of Yuletide and the kindness filled within the hearts of our people. And, Merry Yuletide, one and all. And I just want to address the elephant in the room. No, I did not have sexual relationships with that woman.
Yes, that that little scandal. I mean, what even is a scandal, really? I mean, can any one of us say that we truly witnessed such a thing? I mean, come on.
There were no witnesses. I made sure of that.
I think the less you say, the better, friend. And now, of course, you've all previously heard our fourth candidate and up and comer who nobody suspected, Aaron Ray, because, well, maybe we forgot to include her in that, but these things happen. So now let's go to our third original candidate, and points to you, Chris.
Hello, my name is Master Guy Normas, and I have served in the halls of the temple for the last 60 years. I have waited for this whole time to finally be allowed to be the high priest to Saren Ray. But in the last battle, I was unceremoniously cast from that particular debate. I will not be denied again. Oh, and if you vote for me, we're going down. We're going down and we're going to deal with some fire giants. I hope you all understand.
All right. Well, who doesn't like a good war, right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank
the
you.
economy.
Yeah. The polls will be open tomorrow morning. We hope to see you there. Anybody who doesn't, you may face discipline from the temple. Thank you all and have a wonderful night.
May Saren Ray bless you all.
Yes, that is approximately how it went.
Who won?
Oh, well, of course, the priestess that you did meet, the Lady Erin Ray, won. Because,
But
well...
she didn't even speak. Is that why she won?
Did
you get your mouth shut?
Well...
Judging by everyone else we heard.
Well, there has been... I'm slowly changing his voice. Well, of course, there has been some... Well, we do consider ourselves a sophisticated culture. There are occasionally in the church some issues of sexism. And even though the position was traditionally priestess, some time ago it moved on to become a patriarch more than a matriarch, which first came about as a sort of a fill-in position. And so not everybody was keen to return to a female-dominated state of
honestly, from
state of the temple.
I don't even think she needed to speak. From the three of them, it sounded like there was a warmongering emperor type, some traveling con man, and a guy that's not wearing hockey pads. So, I mean, of the choices, I genuinely think she could have just introduced herself and said, "Vote for me," and everyone would have been like, "That's nice."
You sincerely don't understand sometimes that people like jingoistic shenanigans. But at the same time, if it were me, I would definitely have voted for her, because that sounded creepy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who would you guys vote for? Like, you had to pick one of those three.
Oh, God. Well, I would find a way to roll my head off the cloud.
Of the three, probably the traveling con man. Because at the very least, you know you're being conned. You can plan accordingly.
True. That's true, I suppose. If you have to vote for someone who you know is going to backstab you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at that point, a couple other patrons enter the bar. Ooh. And we've got a no sufficient giant message from Jane. But Jane is also casting a vote for Tiny Tim. So congratulations, Tiny Tim.
I
Tiny
did
Tim
it
is-
as I won.
Tiny Tim
4
came in a
more
close second.
years. 4 more years.
I honestly can't blame him. I was like, hey, how creepy can I make this? I'm Batman.
My Trump impersonation was not good enough. Otherwise, that would have been my go-to.
Okay. It looks like we're not alone anymore, so maybe this is a good time for at least me to skedaddle and go check out Fames, collect my bit of sample to, do our work with that. Wink. And, just
Hey, Toxin,
I
is
don't know
there
what you
a
guys are gonna do, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Toxin? Is there a room that we can rent here?
Oh, yes, of course. In the Grand Library, you can simply go to any of the reading. They call them the sanctuaries, but they really are just sound-treated booths which you can discuss in private so as not to disturb the other listeners. Just simply find one that isn't in use, and, well, being the clerk here, I happen to know that none of them are currently in use. Write your name on the placard out front, or the name of your party, or the name of one of you who might represent the party, so that they know that it is in use. And please, just to be considerate, please write the time that you intend to stay until approximately. We usually do them in sections of 1 hour or one, and then half an hour beyond this. But please feel free to stay as long as you like. As I said, they are not currently being used, and there is currently not that much demand for them.
All right.
Sorry,
Well, why don't
I'm
we
being
meet-
summoned.
I was about to say, good lord, this man can definitely put away some words.
Why don't we meet up there?
Ah, that sounds wonderful. But did you want to stay there to sleep, or did you want to stay there to actually just discuss things?
Well, if it's a sound-treated room, we might as well use that to discuss things.
If it's also a sound-treated room, it's not the worst place to sleep. Just a thought. But, at any rate, let us leave.
Right.
Like I said, I'm scuttling to the fire pit.
Alrighty, so we break off into a couple different sections, and Eridan and Mr. Brandybones, you wander off to the library, and we're going to follow Nanners for a moment, as Nanners meets a meets Vlas the Ass, who has obviously recently been kicked out of the room with the sacred fire.
Oh my
And
god, you were in there for like 5 minutes.
He keeps gesturing to his mouth as if he cannot speak.
Listen, I don't have time to play drunk charades. I don't know what you're trying to get out here. Hold on. Do you want another lethargy potion? Would that help? Yeah, here you go. Here. Slide one over to him. Alright, there,
he
that's one
passes
problem out of the way.
All right.
I'm just gonna walk in and, be not like overtly cautious, like I'm walking into a trapped room, but just, slow, making sure I take stock of everything that's in there and everyone that's in there.
Let me see what lovely images I have for this temple room. That originally wanted to use that vault one, but it's a little too gungy. All those nice ones are outside.
Welcome to the gungeon.
No, it's much too dangerous.
I'd say that's like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. Prison line, March of the... I need to, Oh! I got a grand church. There we go.
Works for me.
Oops. No, stop it.
Oop.
I just want to close it. There we go. You come in to this lovely room. Now, it's set up with pews and such in the image, but doesn't have that many. There are a few places to kneel, and everything Nanners is colossal compared to your diminutive size. And there is a hush about this place that makes you feel almost shocked. And I will actually take a will save from you, Nanners, as being a woman of alchemy and science and medicine, being at a holy site is
What was
actually
will again in
quite
this game?
inspiring. Oh, it's there's a will save on the main page of your sheet.
Oh, the save. I was looking at checks.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, I'm not good at them.
Nanners, nothing bad happens to you, but you stagger for a moment. And there's kind of a tear that you're stifling in your eye as you think about your late husband, Gertie. And there's just this sense that he's with you for a moment, Nanners. You swear you
I just kind of feel the finger that the ring used to be on.
And as you swear, you could smell his cologne for a moment. You could feel the being rat folk. You'd sometimes hold hands, sometimes you'd just hold tails, and for a moment you feel that ghostly brushing past you, but it's not frightening. It's just a reminder that he'll always be with you. And then you see the light of the great fire. And it is this burning golden chalice, or more of a dais, I guess, there before you on this great altar, and there's a crack in the ceiling of this great golden temple where white and yellow sunlight flitters in.
I'm going to just first, real quick after that, momentary stun, just take out my reagent bag and just, not like a deep sniff, just a quick sniff like a smelling salt to snap myself into it again. And look around to see if there's someone of import. Or anyone that seems relatively at duty here, I guess.
Yes. There are a couple people praying, and then you see the two temple chaplains. The large, bald giants. They look, at first glance, almost like they could be identical twins, but as you continue to study them and smell them, you can see that, no, they are just obviously... the role of the chaplain must require you to wear the same things and conform yourself to a certain style of dress and presentation, because there are
Real
subtle
quick
differences.
while I'm sniffing them, because he said I gave them a little sniff. Just for funsies, are they sick?
They are not sick, but the one on the left does have a trace of a more sulfurous odor on him than the one on the right. Interesting. I might have just painted myself in a corner with that, but it's been done.
Yeah, well,
All right, and Nanners, as you approach them, we're just going to do a quick improv game, because this is always one of my favorites. I used to be I was a churchgoer for quite some time, was a choir boy, and sometimes you get some real characters in church. So as you're, Nanners, as you're on your way to speak to the temple chaplains, we're going to play worst person to encounter at a church.
I feel like it's most people, actually.
Oh boy.
All right. So we're gonna just gonna be two of us. So we're gonna start with Chris and Charlie. Feel free to come in when ready. So Nanners, you're making your way towards the chaplains.
And
Just find a tippy toe. Not stealthily, but just like to not disturb people.
As you pass by a certain set of pews, one of the fire giants steps out with a plate in his hand.
Hey, what fire giants?
Cloud giant, sorry, just for...
Cloud giant, sorry.
Oh my god, the spy! We found him!
The spy, yeah. Sorry about that. That's my bad. The cloud giant
How
steps
could you
out and goes,
hide the flaming hair?
illusion magic. Confetti!
Yeah, here,
the
you
cloud-
can follow me. Yeah, Shoo, go back to your adventure. Shoo.
The cloud giant steps out and goes, alms?
What?
Alms?
Like almonds?
No, we are asking for alms. What do you call them? Donation?
I mean, I have a little bit on me, but I don't know if it's relative to you anything. It's like
We only asked for 10%.
of everything I've ever made.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have much on me. I kind of lost it all in the 401k crash.
The 401 what now?
It's a surface thing. Don't worry about it. I mean, I can give this at least. Like I said, it's very, very tiny relative to literally everything else. But
Don't you give that con man a single thing. Go on now. Go on. You're not, you're not fooling anyone. Shoot. He comes in here every day from pretending to work for the clergy. He doesn't. He actually just works down to the blacksmith, and he's trying to get extra coin just so he can practice his craft. And you
must be a really bad blacksmith then.
Absolutely.
I don't know what he hoped to get from me. Like, is silver even worth anything here from this list? Ooh, sorry, I choked a bit on my own spit.
Oh, it's all right. Why don't you come up here and sit by me? The clergy are talking to some uppity do. Actually, I think that's Wendy. Word is now Wendy. She had a daughter, and her daughter went off, and she had some highfalutin affair with a stone giant. Can you believe that?
No.
Just absolutely atrocious. I think it was a Wednesday, but she was no, you know what? It was a Thursday, and because it was a Thursday because Wendy's parents weren't home then. So it was definitely a Thursday when she comes in, and my sister Sarah, she saw this stone giant. Just, you know what? It was a Wednesday. It absolutely was a Wednesday because they weren't there. They had left on the Wednesday. They didn't come back until Friday. So the confusion. Anyway, she saw the stone giant stark naked standing in the living room, and she said, I have never seen stones that big before, and she was actually quite put off by it. And
I mean, I think anyone would be put off a little bit seeing that.
Right. And anyway, Wendy's daughter Penelope, she was just there, just as naked as the clouds make.
Listen, I know you made this to try and have me escape from this, but you forget that this is an old lady talking to an old gossip lady. She's sitting there listening, enraptured by this. He is into it.
Ooh, what is the juicy gossip on this? To your left, somebody stands up and goes, "Praise be to Sharon Ray! Praise be Allah! And he starts speaking in very loud tongues.
Is that common? Does that happen a lot here?
No, that's just Gary.
Now, Nanners, as enraptured as you are, you realize the chaplain on the left with the whiff of sulfur has left, or is about to leave. The chaplain on the right continues working with the fire, but you realize if you don't find a polite way to end this conversation quickly, you might lose your goal.
Well, I kind of want the sulfur one to leave, actually, so I'm going to wait until they're out of the room.
All right.
So anyway, it looks like Wendy's bored him to tears. Look at him just scurrying away. Ah, bless that girl. Seven Ray, bless that girl. Hopefully she'll bless her with some taste buds that was on her tongue. That way she gets a modicum of good taste. No.
Unfortunately, I do have to
Hi, Wendy.
scurry off, grandkids and all that. But I do want to catch up
Oh,
very
Chaplain.
soon again.
The
We
selfish
should
chaplain has
schedule a
left.
brunch together.
that sounds so nice. Absolutely so nice.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you know the area better than I do. I'd love to hear all the local
Absolutely.
delicacies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it was lovely meeting you.
Oh, it was lovely meeting you.
Yeah.
You have a good day now.
And she very timidly tries to find a way to hop off this pew without hurting herself.
Oh, allow me to help.
Oh, thank you very much.
They,
Those legs,
you know. Oh, don't I know it? They preach acceptance, but they don't put anything for the elderly here.
Oh, real quick.
Absolutely shameful.
Werther's trade. I slide my little Werther's out.
Oh no, bless your heart. I
Oh,
won't tell anyone. Mm.
Alright,
All right, now,
I'm gonna go scuttle up to the other guy after the sulfur man leaves.
Charlie,
All right.
first, what was the name of your
Oh, no.
cloud giant, please?
Mary.
Katrina.
Katrina.
Oh.
Okay.
Listen, you make a joke. I'm only leaving because the God narrative demanded it. If this lady comes back and starts gossiping to this old woman again, she's listening for hours.
I'm expecting this to come up again. That's why I needed a name.
That's gonna be that's gonna be just like the audio throughout the entirety of the credits. It's just gonna be Nanners and Katrina just talking.
Going at it.
I mean, I have so many pirates to gossip to you about later.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Pirates? Serious?
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna love it. You thought your family was bonkers. Well, wait until you hear about these fellas.
I can't wait. Thank you so much, Nana.
Yeah, I gotta schedule off. Goodbye.
Oh, no.
All right. So, Nanners, one of the temple chaplains remains. He seems to be conducting some sort of rite near the sacred fire.
I just try to wait until he doesn't seem to be in actual full-fledged religious practice rites. Just wait until he seems to be finished and just go up and say, "Excuse me."
Alrighty, I thought. Yeah, you're right, Chris. That was supposed to be some of the worst, and we got a thumbs up from Tim. Nice. All right, so everybody in that scene, you all get second rows. Use it wisely.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So Nanners, you don't have to wait for him to stop the rites. As you come up to him, he sort of like does a double take and notices you, and he stops. And he stoops down very low and locks eyes with you.
Hello. It's good to meet you.
What is it that brings you to her temple?
Actually, I'm here on some official business from the priestess. I was given permission to just
Let
collect.
me see your laminate.
Okay, I believe I was given one of those. I pull it out.
Yes. So yeah, the laminates that Clarkson had printed off for you, sized to your actual forms. And he just does this deep hum that you can feel reverberating in your bones. It's a little unsettling.
I try my best to politely wait until he gives an affirmation one way or another.
Very well. I will submit myself to your questioning as is custom.
Well, thank you. First off, I just would request a small bit of help. I was given permission to collect a small bit of the residue of the fire. Just a little swipe on a swab or handkerchief or something, right from the edge. No need to get too close or anything dangerous.
Such a thing is unheard of. So, Nanners, I'm going to need... I don't remember if you were given permission for that. So if you weren't...
Yeah, it was when we were talking about
okay.
making fake cool.
Okay, right. Thank you.
You said she was on board with that.
Right. In that case, I will need a very strong diplomacy check.
Just for funsies, let's use Rose. Why not?
All right.
I don't think that's high enough. That's the same thing.
How odd.
The exact same rule.
To do such a thing will require more than your laminate permits. You will have to fill out one of the forms. I can have it sorted out with Clarkson should you insist on taking the sacred ash for...
That's
some
fine. I can fill out whatever you need me to. Patient, it's not a huge rush. But where would I find the forms? Do you have them, or would I have to go to the front?
We will have them requisitioned, and they will be waiting for you in the main parlor with Clarkson. The form is the W7F. You will need to have a witness. You will need a member of your family or a close traveling companion to verify your identity. We will need some method to contact you in the event that the ash falls into hands that are undesirable, and so you will need to have this guarantor fill out the form as well with a complete and recent sketch. You can hire one of our sketch artists from the main parlor who will complete your identity.
That actually sounds like a bit of fun, believe it or not. I would love to fill this out. Thank you for being so cooperative with me.
Wow, okay. So you stun him a bit, and his,
It's an old lady.
Chicks
Have you ever
against
seen
him
them at
are-
DMV? They fucking love those forms.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You stun him
She
a
has
little bit.
family here, too. She can do all of that.
That's wonderful.
Like, there's not a single
Yeah.
thing in there where she's like, oh, I don't know about that. Like, she fits the bill.
Okay, so... Oh.
I've got
He's
all the time
visibly
in the world.
stunned that nobody's, that you weren't put off by that. Very well. Now you may proceed with any additional questions you might have.
I mean,
you are,
I guess...
of course, permitted to search the vestry and our other areas, but you are not permitted to touch sacred relics unsupervised.
That's very fair.
And everything is a sacred relic.
Wait, should I have not touched the pew?
No. The pews are fine. I mean,
Oh, okay.
if it looks sacred, I mean, and he just starts gesturing towards, like, lots of things have, like, ornate gold carvings and stuff like that. And then things like the pews, they're made of wood. They're a nice wood. They're highly polished. And they look like they could support, you know, an airship because they're made for giants. But,
Hey, well, I will keep my hands to myself. Don't worry in that regard. Put them in my pockets, even.
alright.
I guess one simple question is just, have you, besides me, of course, have you noticed anything interesting going on lately?
Interesting, I would say inconvenient, to say the least. There
Well-
have been many people milling about in the temple, and they are not here to cleanse their souls. They are here to get the latest hot goss, as it is being publicized. Everybody wants to know if the rumors are true, if some of the sacred coals have gone missing. And as he says that, there's a few murmurs. Silence while we are praying. We shall retire to a more comfortable chamber if you are okay with this.
Oh, of course, of course. That's why I was trying to, be very, very broad myself as well.
I have a naturally voluminous speaking voice. I
It's
was
good for your
born
position.
this way.
very good skill for you.
I appreciate the compliment. And his DC drops a little bit more. And so, he walks you into the vestry. And there you see the other temple chaplain is just sort of milling about. He's got a few instruments. One of them you recognize, it's just a very large telescope, and there's a globe, or what looks like a globe, but it has many other additions to it. And if you'd like to figure out what it is, Nanners, I will take a... what's the best skill for that? I believe that would be an occultism or a society check.
Yeah, check which one. They're the same thing. Let's do society.
Alrighty.
No.
You've never seen something like this. You recognize the globe, but what the hell are the rest of the things?
I'm making a not like a spectacle of it, but I'm very, very clearly, non-subtly, just keeping my hands in my pockets.
May I offer you a cup of tea?
I would have some tea, thank you.
Alrighty. So he...
No, so is your
rings a little
companion
bell.
okay if we speak in here? We're not interrupting him?
Brother Larson, you may speak, it's fine. I'll do my own thing, as usual. If you want us to leave... No, it's fine. Just do your thing. I was here first, but... Just come out and say if you want us to leave. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yes. And now he looks to you, Nanners. Oh, and with Gruff arriving, we're gonna quickly go to our what's the word I'm looking for? It happens between Act 1 and 2. Intermission. Thank you. My brain hurts sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, we
Works
will
for me,
be-
because I have no questions. I want these guys to have a turn. Switch to them. Don't put it on me.
Okay.
I didn't think
It
I'd
was
get this
going-
far. I just wanted some ash.
It's all good. It's all good. I using a new method from How to Be a Great GM for when you're developing, when you have to develop lore and NPCs on the fly, how to do it. And I was having a lot of fun. So you went on.
You
a little,
underestimated the fact that this was an old lady. Like, you guys were all like, "Oh, this'll get her," and she's like, "Oh, I love
Yep.
it."
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
love
just
her
wanted-
now.
I just wanted to do it.
Honestly, it was the moment I was like, oh God, two old women talking in church. There's only one way this is going to go.
They're gonna be there until like the janitors are finished cleaning.
They're going to be there till the next sermon.
Yep. All right, everybody. We'll be back in 10 minutes. See you soon.
To be or not to be.
Hey everybody, we are back. Just got to quickly finish moving around one more box. I'm waiting for Jane's sassy comment.
We're also seemingly missing a few people.
Oh yeah. I expected, I'm just used to there being quiet while I'm working with the boxes. But yeah, Ryan, I'm guessing, excuse me, Charlie's not back yet because the screen is off.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, and please enjoy our slightly extended intermission. But let's recap now. Tim, I'll get you to. I know only one person has really been active at the moment, but being a new judge, I'd still love to hear some of the thoughts you might have. You don't have to give us the scores yet or anything, but some of the thoughts you might have on the game so far.
You're currently muted. There you go.
It's good. I'm enjoying the improv.
Oh, thank you.
Still figuring out the scoring on everything, but yeah, it's good. I'm the old lady is definitely intriguing. So yeah. Took a while to figure out what was going on there, but once I figured out, I'm like, oh, okay, she's an old lady. He's an old lady.
It's a pair of old gossipers. That can only mean one thing. You're not getting back home in time for dinner. There's Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Oh, how'd I screw that? So that was supposed to be Chris's window, and I made it Tim. I'm bad at this.
It's Tim, and also Tim.
Yeah, we got two Tims.
That's okay. His face is better than mine anyway. I...
Pardon me whilst I narrate this part out loud. And why did Chris get out of whack?
Hello.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I am over 40 years old and I was going to the bathroom and now it takes longer. What's up?
Don't worry, I relate. I'm not even 30 years old.
All right.
So,
we are
how is
good
everyone?
to go. Oh, doing good.
I'm fine.
Good.
Now, Mr. Gruff the Crime Frog, thank you very much for joining us. What you've missed so far has been, unfortunately, you didn't get the preamble. But, in a nutshell, we are now in the realm of the Cloud Giants. They are a peaceful and deeply religious, cultural people, and something seems to have gone astray, and it seems as though the Fire Giants who reside in the depths of the mountain, they, of course, are on the top of the mountain in the realm of the clouds. I believe the stratosphere, is that what that's called? Anyway. And so, yeah, there's been something's happened. Nobody's quite sure who done it, but they've managed to get on the priestess's good side, and she has trusted them, given them little laminates that's giving them permission to investigate on her behalf. She is, they are under her charge, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we are searching for clues. And
so basically, they're just trying to stop a war from being declared. Makes sense.
Pretty much. I mean, Cloud Giants, Fire Giants, it's a tale as old as time.
Absolutely.
And so now we go to the library, where Mr. Brandy Bones and Mr. Collad have decided to go and find a quiet place to discuss.
So, do you want to write your name up there, or should I write my name up there? What even is the name of your crew?
Well, I was just going to put our names
Oh,
on
okay. Do you think you can reach that high?
Yeah.
All right.
Cue 1 moment later the sound of a chair dragging across the floor.
I don't have that loaded in Sirenscape, unfortunately. I wish I did. But I can find something. Weapon impacts?
It just sounds like you're about to hit him with the chair.
Yeah. I'll take it. All right.
And he comes in with the steel chair.
My God! Anyway.
All right.
All right. I'll write our names. I'll say approximately an hour. Maybe more, time permitting.
Knock 3 times to interrupt. Rudely.
All right.
Right.
There
let's
is
get
no
inside.
answer to your knock.
Well, no, I was saying you should write that down and just be like, knock 3 times if you want to be rude.
All right, I'm going to go in,
See?
and the first thing I'm going to look for are spy holes.
All right. Eridan, give me a perception, a survival, or actually a lore warfare, I think would work best in this case, because this is...
But my perception's so much better.
You're welcome to just use perception if you like.
Hey! Not that roll. You know what? I have a rose.
You have 2
I was
rolls.
I'm
gonna
going to use
offer.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you climbing on the walls now?
Very good.
Because if someone was going to be, if a giant was going to be spying on another giant, it wouldn't be at our eye level, would it?
But why would they have eye holes in a soundproof room?
Because they can't listen at the door. It's soundproof.
But why would they want to listen into a church place? Or not church place, a library place.
When was the last time you were actually around people?
You do remember where you found me, right?
Oh, yeah. Were they just beforehand that you can remember? Were they just naturally trustworthy people that never spied on anyone and used any sort of leverage on anyone to get them to do their bidding?
I was born on a hot tin roof. I don't know much. What happened to me was short-lived, to put it that way.
More like short died.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, point is,
Eridan, your perception check is successful. More successful than you might like, because indeed, it's very well hidden, but there is, and it's not an eye hole, but there is a piece that slides over, and there is indeed a hole, an any-purpose hole. I know.
Oh, no.
I know what just happened.
Any purpose?
I've been hot. No, don't you dare. I am doing my best not to say it.
glorious. I found one.
Oh,
You
God
bastard.
damn it. You son of a bitch. Ah.
To be fair, if Lars isn't here, I have to fill in. So,
Don't fill that, though. That's just wrong.
no, I'll be on the wrong side of it. It's, you know what? Never mind. Fun story. That's how my great uncle died, apparently. Mimic.
What?
Damn it. Okay. I think we need a flashback with that.
Oh, no! To the confused look of Brandon just going, what?
All right. So, Eridan, or Charlie, you are going to be playing the role of your great uncle. And I want Ryan to be playing the role of the mimic. And then Chris, I'll have you on standby to... Actually, no, Chris, I think you need to be in the active scene. You are going to be the the dowdy voice of reason adventuring companion. All right.
So anyway. The key to finding a mimic is to note the impossible. Certain things, like if you're in a dust-filled cavern and you find a pristine treasure chest, note no dust in a dust-filled cavern mimic. The key is to find them before they find you. No matter how tempting the device, one must always be on their guard.
You know, just because you sound like you're wise doesn't mean that things are going to go exactly the way you planned. I mean, just here, watch this. I'll take a stick that I just happen to have because I'm a cleric, yes, and I'm just gonna bonk a random treasure chest. Donk. See? Nothing's wrong. Just open it.
Well, of course, treasure chests are passé. Of course, the mimics are intelligent creatures. They know that we know it. And quite frankly, your stick didn't stick. That's another thing about mimics. They have a very adhesive surface. That way, when people touch them, they can't escape. So when the giant maw appears, there is nowhere to go but within the gaping maw of death.
I thought that was
You
just
could have
the
very...
tongue.
No, it's the actual surface of it itself. You see, that's where they get you. When you can't escape. You could very well have just thrown your life away over a twig. Now who's wise?
I would just lose the twig. That I wouldn't lose my life because I struck it with a stick. It's not like I punched it.
The stick jumps and lunges at him.
Oh! Ah! Ah! No! Ah! 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 What?
Anything!
Well, I can't believe I'm about to say this. That stick got away from me. I guess
Well, you're young yet. You're young yet. That won't happen more. That'll happen more consistently as you get older.
Now, great-grandfather Eridan, unfortunately, that's right, the stick has scurried off and wandered further into this, dungeon? Yeah, let's just call it a dungeon.
I was holding on to that stick for years.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so confused now. All right, fine. Go look for your dust-filled treasure chest.
Hang on. What's this? Extra pleasurable pleasure hole this way.
No. Wait a second.
Fine.
No,
Mimics
Comes
can't
out,
write.
Voice of reason before any more can be said.
Yeah, let's end it there. And it is well known that this is how he died. It was unpleasant.
Sometimes a man has to do what a man has to do.
You know, some people talk about the forbidden door. Now we're talking about the forbidden hole.
All right, and so,
That's not
Mr. Brandy Bones, as you and Eridan are staring up at this hole as he tells you the story. It's actually now very appropriate as to how this memory was triggered.
And I'm just like,
great-grandfather perished.
You know, now that you say that, could you maybe take a couple steps back away from the possibly mimic-filled hole?
I'll just kind of pat the wall. It's not a mimic. My hand doesn't stick. Well, you're not listening.
I
Oh.
wasn't
Are you sure it doesn't stick?
It might stick for other reasons. You, just for your own safety, for 2 different reasons, could you come down from there? Look, we'll just, like, speak in code or something. I don't know. It's not like giants are all that sneaky. We can hear them, right? Usually. If they open the hole, they're going to make this room less soundproof. Just saying.
I just kind of put my hand on your shoulder. I know. That's the point. So they can listen.
I get that. Thank you, though. Anyway, would you like, or what were we going to discuss?
Nothing while we're in here. There's a spy hole.
We can always talk about. Wait. Okay. No, you know what? There is something I would like to ask you now that we're both here.
Right.
I remember from picking up from random conversations between you and Glass, you and Nanners, you and pretty much everybody, that you seem to come from a rather long line of adventurers.
Yeah.
I may not remember a whole lot about whatever I was doing beforehand, but I was always under the impression adventurers didn't have a whole lot of families.
Well, that really all depends on if they're smart enough to know when to stop. My parents had a very good nest egg, and they once my mother had myself and my brother, they decided to call it quits and just buy a farm and live happily for the rest of their lives. The adventuring party slowly kind of filtered out through the world, but it happens.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but it's just... So your whole family has managed to, well, of course, other than your great-grandfather, the rest of them just managed to survive their adventures and make a whole line of adventurers? That's amazing.
Wow. A lot of them would settle down, but the thing with adventuring is it's a bit of an addiction. You can set it down for a couple of years, but eventually something will trigger a memory or an experience, and then you'll get the bug again. More than a few members of my family hit that little bug and just went adventuring and left the family behind.
Sorry to hear that, if it helps.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, hell, I left my voice behind.
You left your what?
This isn't how I talk. Normally. Well, it has been for quite some time, but it's not my original voice. I was told that I sounded more like my father.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Growing up with the voice of my father, it was quaint. My parents found it interesting and amusing that I take so much after him. When he died when I was 7 or 8, not entirely sure, it quickly became more of a burden for my mother. I would be outside playing glass and laughing, that sort of thing, and she would come running out with a smile on her face and tears streaming down her cheeks. And then that smile would fade when she saw it was just me talking. It wasn't him. She thought that he'd come back somehow, some way. Happened more than once, and I started noticing the damage that it was doing, so over time, I started talking like this, just to let her grieve and
Let you live
let
without
her.
let you live without having a shadow even inadvertently over you.
Well, I knew it worked. A few years later, we're just sitting here doing the dishes, and she stopped and she just hugged me for no reason, which was out of character. What was in character was she left me to finish the dishes alone. That pretty much told me that she was good, that she knew what knew what I'd done. She thanked me for it in her own way, and then business as usual. So, but you do something for long enough, it becomes a habit. Yeah, this is how we talk now.
I guess I never noticed. If it
Yeah,
helps,
Mr. Brandybones, actually. Not only have you never noticed this, I'm gonna need a will save from you, as you find it's really hard to keep yourself together. There's something about this
Boy, wisdom save. Let's go.
sad memory.
Is it a will or a wisdom save?
Will, sorry.
Actually, that's a little bit better.
Wow, so you've never felt this sad hearing somebody's story, but you compose yourself, hold it in, you even briefly get the memory of what it was like to have tears.
And you'll actually see me actually wipe at my own cheekbones.
Cute.
What?
Dabbing away a non-existent tear. Look. I know I didn't tell that to be a sob story. You were just
No.
asking, and we wanted to talk about something, so we talked.
I know. It's just I didn't realize I was doing it. Sorry. It just.
No, it's fine. I'm used to sarcasm. I grew up with glass.
Well, I guess you have, but no, I'm being serious. I didn't even realize I was. Doing it. It's. I've never felt so. Oh, what's a good word for it? Empathic. Empathetic.
Absent memory, maybe.
Maybe that's new to me. It's something I've never actually experienced before. To be
Oh,
frank.
well, yeah. See, adventure bug.
I suppose.
They get triggered, and they want it to, and then they want it to happen again. So they go out and hit the road.
Now, I'm just going to pause you there briefly. Nanners, you were able to have your conversation with the clerks, or keep forgetting that word. Chaplains, there we go. The chaplains, that's a fun word. And we'll get into what exactly you learned as we reveal momentarily. And to meet your colleagues in the library, and you see Eridan's name drawn into one of these privacy booths, and it asks you to please knock 3 times should you want to enter.
All right, real quick, what was the name of the old lady friend I made?
Katrina.
Hey, Katrina, when the door opens, you can just toss him in there. She's just holding glass, unconscious. Hey, don't worry, he can take it. He's like a doll.
Well, he does seem kind of solid. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so
Honestly, most of y'all smaller creatures, no offense, but y'all seem just so squishy.
Oh, I know. Trust me, we are. I've operated on plenty
Think
of
of how
them.
wobbly his legs are. Look at him.
He's very funny.
Right, I'll just put him here.
And I'm just gonna try to give my loudest knocks possible.
I think somebody's trying to be rude. Let's go find out who it is.
No, I just did 2 knocks.
Oh, well, nope. You can't open the door then.
Okay.
Open the door.
But the instruction said 3. Oh.
Eridan opens the door, and Katrina and Nanners are there.
Well,
Hello.
hi.
this
Yeah.
lovely young lady helped me bring Glass over.
Oh,
Salutations, madam.
well, hello there. Aren't you just a stunning bag of bones? Now,
Oh,
now this here's your friend. I'm gonna hand him over to you. Oh, yeah. No, oh, fuck.
yeah.
I got it. Thank you. Right now, Nanas, you know I gave you directions to my house. You have to come over for coffee before you leave. All right?
Definitely.
You promised me.
You can bet on it. As
Okay.
soon as I'm free.
Fantastic. I'll see you then. Bye,
Bye,
sugar.
have a good day.
You too.
Bye. I'm just gonna make my way in there too and try to shut the. Can I have some help closing this? It's a bit heavy.
Oh,
You made a friend. That's
Yeah.
good.
she seems like a lovely lady.
Oh, she's so sweet. She was telling me the story of a stone giant naked in the living room. Oh boy, their family's crazy.
Ooh, now that sounds scandalous. But I'm gonna look at Eridan. But I guess we probably have something more important to talk
Hey, you
about.
seem like you really have something you want to say. Go ahead and say it.
No, I honestly I feel like I should have something to say about it, but honestly at this point, no, it's kind of par for the course. Now, just
While we're
brief-
doing this, I'm just gonna be filling out these forms as best I can.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
is that bureaucracy I see?
Yes, it is.
Do you happen to have a second pen?
I don't think so. There
I'll-
one lying around.
I'll go look.
There's only
Eridan,
so many tiny pens in this building.
Isn't there though? Eridan, you wouldn't happen to have a pen, would you?
go through my bag, find my journal. Yes.
Thank you very much. And I'll start helping you with the paperwork.
Help me out. Are you forging my signature?
I'm writing in the parts that don't require your signature.
Eh,
Like maybe your initials, for instance.
You know,
that's my signature.
No,
the
your
t-
signature.
you know, the two of
Brandy
you.
Bones and Nanners, I need society checks from both of you.
Ooh,
Or
The two
actually,
of you are enjoying
um,
that far too much.
Mr. Brandy Bones, you will be doing the support role, which will give Nanners total a +2.
Yep.
I'm
raise it
just
with my
reading
plus
through
13, I'm
some of
gonna
my
make it.
stuff real quick. One sec.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I succeed at helping, I believe.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm just looking through to see if I have anything that can help me. 1 second.
Ooh, that is a good question. Do I have anything to possibly make that a little?
Yeah, you have court stuff. Does that count?
Give me a second. I'm going to look to see what I got. Abilities? There it is.
I just know how to cut people open and put them back together. I don't really have much.
As far as courtly graces go, the fact that you have that, I just brought the DC check lower for you in my head to pass
Ooh,
the
fair enough.
help. But you are.
Ooh, and you
Oh, wow, I'm rolling hot today.
Let's say,
Ignore-
that's a good one.
Ignore that failure. That's the I didn't reset that DC. But no, you are you're fine, Nanners. It brought it down from a higher check
18
to a standard 15 check.
I
And
just
yeah,
gotta bring it to Gertie later for his parts.
yeah, it's still gonna
Right.
take some time, but you managed to figure it
I
out.
get to have my portrait drawn. I haven't had that done in ages.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Now, unfortunately, I thought that we would have a little bit of private privacy in here because this, the soundproof room and all. However, I did discover a spy hole, which explains a lot.
I thought you
so-
described it as an everything hole.
Hey, can I make a medicine check to get a rough estimate of where that is relative to giant anatomy?
Yep, you can.
Go for it, yes. That's still a good roll.
Well, you're not overly familiar with giant anatomy, considering their standard humanoid shape just scaled up. This would be something approximately chest high, you might think.
Oh, thank God.
I suppose with it, nope, we're not going there. We're not going there.
Don't worry,
Look-
I didn't say anything. This is my own mental math here.
If it's a sound, look, so if the room itself is soundproof, all they really need to do is kind of make a gap in it, and then, well, it's no longer sound. My guess is, however, that there is a couple of passages on the other side, and I think we should start there.
You think we should go sneaking through the soundproofing?
I'm just gonna do a little sniff test to see if there's anything coming through that hole that I can recognize. Oh boy, rolling hot!
Welcome to the 13s. 13s only.
Just if there's anything wafting through, like decay, other stuff.
Yeah, there is a mild scent that was very recently applied to said hole that you recognize but can't quite figure out where. I will need for a recall.
A remembery roll.
Yeah, a remembery roll. This is a flat-out intelligence check.
I was just double checking my potions real quick.
It's all good. Okay.
Oh, a little bit better.
Success. When you and Selena were first on your way to the library, there was that other librarian, Becky. She had an interesting fragrance, possibly a perfume, or possibly just carried the smell of the library with her. It is as if she was just there.
Illegal perfume stash.
Illegal perfume? What?
I mean, sometimes the materials are kind of a little bit difficult to get and are very, very heavily regulated. So people sneak some stuff in that they shouldn't. And, this is also a temple. Who knows what rules they have regarding stuff there?
That's fair. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just from a quick little sniff. I just recognized the perfume.
Do you know who was wearing it?
Oh, yeah, it was a very, very nice but kind of suspicious librarian we first met in here who was doing some research. And, we were kind of nosing around before we knew too much about the whole situation. So she had reason to be suspicious, but...
Okay. All right.
You wouldn't happen to have caught what she was looking at, would you?
I did, and it was something, I believe it was like secession and the flame itself and what happens if it's not there.
I'm going to look at Eridan. I'm going to
I
attempt
kind of just assumed that she was doing it on behalf of everybody here, but who knows, maybe it was personal.
I'm going to look at Eridan, I'm going to mouth something and then realize I only have a jaw. And then I'm going to go, we may need to speak elsewhere?
Yeah. All right. Come on, Blas.
I'm so glad you can lift him, because I sure as hell couldn't.
Oddly enough, normally I would be struggling with this, but I've done it so many times.
I imagined he gets drunk often.
Well, I mean, yeah, but unconscious is not necessarily meaning drunk.
I feel like it's a 50-50 with him.
All right,
But
so,
we should probably, if we're going to go
sorry,
somewhere,
go
we're going to go. We should probably go back to the inn, right?
Like there was this one time when someone bet him, I bet you can't open up that door with your head. And he bet him like 25 gold. Like it was a large bet. A couple of rich Ponzi pricks from back in the school days. And
Jonathan and Romulus.
I carried him unconscious back to his abode, 25 gold richer.
I was going to ask, I'm so proud. And I bet so was his family.
Oh, no.
No?
Well, I mean, Vlas's family, yes, but Chadathan and Romulus, the only look, Vlas
They were medical
is...
students of mine.
Wait, who are students of yours?
So sorry.
Those names sound like two students I taught for a little bit.
Oh, I'm so
Oh.
sorry.
I think we have to. There has to be.
A flashback?
There has to be. I can't
Oh,
not
no.
jump on this.
Oh no.
The two fan favorite. Alexander isn't here, so unfortunately we don't have Chatith or. Yeah, we'll keep Chatithan will be Alexander's character, but Ryan, you will be reprising Romulus.
In my own character's medical school?
This is difficult now. So no, Ryan, you have to be
You have to be nanners.
Nanners. Okay, and we're
Just a
gonna
younger
have,
Nanners.
Yeah, we're gonna have
A younger, less older Nanners.
Charlie and Chris. You two have to be Chatithan and Romulus. Two rich, elven prats at a
They're Nepo babies.
Nepo
Let's just go for that.
That's the word.
Oh no, I'm built like a dwarf. No.
All right, and the scene begins. Nanners, you are taking them through some very basic medical training. These fellows, they didn't complete their entry exam, but the
I'm a wanderer. I just teach whoever's around. I don't have I'm not licensed. We figured
right,
it out.
that's true. That's true. But you were still you were sought out. This is a private lesson because and they paid you quite well because it was, rumor had it that you were the best, and every medical school has flunked these two, so it's up to you to teach them.
Personally, I don't understand exactly why we're here.
But because you asked me to be here with you.
No.
No.
Well, your parents did, and they said they would cut you off if you didn't show.
It just doesn't make sense. Why do I have to do this? I mean, my own father is a very renowned healer. Does he know everything? No, he has people for that.
Yeah,
I could
why
just
would you
have
be
people.
that people.
Why
Yes,
would
he
I
loves
want
you.
to? Why
Sounds
would you
exhausting. Right,
have
let's
me
just get this over with.
whatever?
So,
I have to touch it.
alright, first off, I like to teach by example. I take a scalpel and just run a quick slit down my arm. So what would you do? See someone bleeding out like this. That explains
Ghastly!
everything.
Why did you do that? Oh.
But to get you empty, are you empty now? Can you look at the blood? Come on, lay down. Better that way.
Oh, it's turned into dry heaves.
Why is there so much shrimp in there?
I had
It was-
scampi.
It was on sale.
You ate shrimp on sale? Why, you monster?
Yeah, you seem like two full-price kids.
Oh, yes, of course.
I was in a
On
hurry.
sale.
So anyway, I'm slowly bleeding out. Can one of you guys do something?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, just shout out ideas. What have you
Oh
got?
god, it's wet. There should be.
Sticky. Ugh.
Yes,
Oh
it's
god, we
both.
should close it. Just
Uh-huh.
make it. Yeah.
All right, so you
And
try to
fun.
close it, and the
Squeezing
second you
more
let go, it
out.
opens again. How do you keep it closed?
All right. It's just if I hold it and then maybe wrap thing around
Yeah,
the. Yeah.
there's some
maybe we could-
bandages right there. Go ahead and use them as
Oh,
much as you want.
fantastic. Yeah, would use some bandages.
I'll go get some.
Just wrap- Is it? You should want it tighter.
Yeah,
then.
tighter,
You just-
tighter.
oh,
Don't
right.
worry, don't be gentle, okay, you can.
And Charlie or Chatithan,
Yep.
if you could please give me a flat D20 check and see if your flat roll can beat the DC.
We're trying to.
Spoilers, it's not that big of a cut. It's just like a little paper cut.
It is.
It's a little deep, but it's not big.
Chatithan, unfortunately, it's the bandage is weird.
Why
it's
is it all
adhesive
sticky
on
and
the wrong
twisty?
side that you were expecting?
Why is it sticky? It just shouldn't. Why? It was.
No,
Fuck.
it's okay. You're doing good for your first time. Just keep
Wait.
going. Pretend you got it right.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. Do we have to like clean it?
Well, you
Uh,
kind of missed that part already, but
Oh.
we'll ignore that.
I
Don't
was
worry. You're still
supposed to-
learning.
You're
I was
supposed to
gonna
clean
run
it.
through everything that happened once we finish.
Ugh.
Okay. Okay. So.
All right, so
yeah.
you got the bandages on. How do you
Yeah.
keep the bandages together?
Oh God, I smell it.
Oh, I know.
What do you
I know
smell? The fresh blood? It's not even
Yes.
rotten.
Oh,
I know
oh,
this one. You
How
just
old do you think I
tie it
am?
off.
I,
You just
older than me.
tie it off.
Yep,
And
tie
then-
it. Just any knot you can think of right now. You're still learning.
Oh yeah, it goes into like the type of bow that like really fancy pratty shoes get tied in.
Oh no.
Hey, listen, whatever works. It's holding strong. That's good.
I use that knot because that's what Daddy taught me for dancing lessons
I
in
had
the
a servant
ballroom.
who taught me
You'd
that.
be able to dance for at least 7 hours and it wouldn't come loose.
No,
So
that's
you
very
use-
helpful. It makes sure my bandages won't fall off.
Right, we gotta actually bandage the rest of this.
But you got the rest. You're not gonna mummify me, are you?
There's no reason to God, is there no reason to mummify?
I hope not.
Now, Romulus, you're gonna step forward and do your test because, well, your friends, Chadathan, he's beneath
out of it.
you on the
he's-
social scale. You're
I
above
must
him.
try. I must show him what I can do, even if this
Okay,
is
cool.
absolutely
So let's
disgusting.
start with you. Cut number 2.
So,
that seems okay.
Jesus, why?
You're cutting on the what now?
What? The other arm.
Why? Why do you keep cutting
Well, because
yourself?
this cuts bandage. You gotta get a new one.
Wouldn't it be
God.
Wouldn't
Okay.
it be easier to just have a cadaver? You just cut open like.
Yeah,
No,
it's like
aren't
a dead
those hard
body.
to find?
Not really. There is a graveyard like 4 blocks this way.
I'm not taking up a body.
But you just go to the
Romulus.
university. There's
you
plenty of
s-
Hurry
things
up,
there.
I'm bleeding
Stand
out.
by
You gotta
your
help
work.
me.
You swear it's better than Chadathan's,
It's
but it's still
Bleeding
not
out, you better
stopping the
help me.
blood. Oh, sorry,
It-
what was that, Gruff?
I was just like laughing at the line, "Oh, I'm bleeding out, you better help me." Imagine just being in the most serious situation you could possibly be in, and just like you have the one guy who's like, "Oh, I'm bleeding out. Tick tock. Better get on the clock."
happens to me all the time.
I was like, on your day off, would you mind?
When you have the time, if it pleases you. But
Hey,
in my
buddy,
case,
I know you're
because I'm
busy.
I'm going to try to show off just a little bit. You know, like those bows that they put on like the top of Christmas presents that are like just a circle of ribbon, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I'm taking my time in doing that and be like, yes, a servant should be this one. I believe I just put this here, yes, and voila. Is that right?
It's right enough. Is it holding strong?
It should
Give
hold
the
my Christmas
bandages a
presents for
little
years.
tug.
I tug it a little bit.
It is a little too loose because that knot specifically is meant to be pulled apart with ease.
Hey, do you know
I-
his fancy tight knot? You could try that, or you can just like tie your shoes.
Who ties shoes?
Oh yeah, I have
Do you not?
spas. I don't
Did,
wear
did
shoes.
you not? Do you not watch your servants when they're doing their thing?
No, I buckle my shoes like a proper man of nobility.
Okay, well no, this is a good thing. Here's another way.
Buckles.
We don't have to tie it.
You-
There's a pin right there, and pins are just buckles for bandages. Why don't you try using that?
Okay, yes, a pin. Oh, that's
Yeah,
sharp.
don't worry
Oh,
about
it's sharp.
sticking me. It's fine. I can take it.
It's sharp. What do I roll in order to not stick theirs?
Just a flat D20 roll.
Let's go. Okay, not the worst. Not the worst.
Okay, Nanners, you are poked several times.
Hey, I try my best to hide it.
And eventually, with some guidance, he is able to pin it.
They're learning. They're working under stress.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
Now, Romulus, I understand that your family is older than mine, but you see, mine is more pragmatic. We are not in the city; we are in the outside of the city. So, laces are more practical than buckles.
But they're not as shiny as buckles.
Shiny attracts the attentions of predators, Romulus.
What predators are in the city?
We're not in the city, you... Anyway, now that I've washed my mouth out with some Pinot,
Wash your hands too. Make sure you get the blood off of those.
Might I have
yes.
some of that, actually?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
We both smell like vomit.
Now, one thing neither of you were able to do, and it's fine. Like I said, we're learning. I'm also just gonna undo these so I can, treat myself a little bit. Don't worry, you did great for your first try, but I'm just gonna make sure my own health is in order. But as I'm doing this, I have all of our materials laid out right here, and neither of you went for the cleaning materials. I have some regular cleaning alcohol. I have even just some actual drinking alcohol that in an emergency could be just as useful. But neither of you went for it. Is it because the alcohol is cheap? I understand. It's very low grade.
Well, the type of alcohol that normally that we're used to is not for spilling.
You sniff it first.
In point of fact, I was caned when I was 10 because I spilt a glass of wine. And apparently the glass of wine was more expensive than the clothes that I was wearing. So I was stiffly disciplined by my father. And rightfully so. It was a rare vintage. So we don't waste alcohol. But I mean, if it's like moonshine, if that sort of thing is actually if that cleans somehow with its
or like a drinking or like a cooking wine.
But can I borrow both of your ears for a second before this?
Yes.
I turn my head.
One very, very important thing to remember. Unless you are some of the most heartless scum of the earth, no amount of money is worth letting someone die. If you have to spill some wine, not that wine's good for cleaning wounds, but if you drop it rushing to go save a life, well, that's wine well spent to save a person, or at least attempt to.
Did you understand the words you just said?
No.
And scene.
Yeah.
Oh, that is gonna.
Jonathan and Romulus opened a law firm shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I've been keeping track of every appearance they've made, and once you guys go back to the mainland.
And one day a marketer shows up at their doorstep. Hi.
The Blood style ending where it just like describes it's like this the entire team was arrested for their crimes or something like that.
Yeah, what is it, like the cops of the unsolved mysteries? Like,
yeah.
And this is what became of them. But just before we've got a couple minutes left, we're just gonna end this last scene. So, you all realize that, funnily enough, it seems like you all have some sort of history with Chadathan and Romulus, with the exception of Mr. Brandybones.
As far as we know.
Yeah. For now.
We found the murderers!
Son of a bitch!
I should have known. The assholes from everyone else's story are the assholes.
Like hoodwinked.
That bunny hip-hopped his way into every one of your stories.
Oh, the fact that I actually got that reference.
don't know if I can not go with that. I mean, I can't say anything out loud, but just
It's
saying,
right there.
it's not off the table. But all right, so you guys finish. You leave the room, and as you guys are exiting and talking a little bit about the exploits of the past, Becky is clearly visible, putting books onto one of those traditional library carts. She is not in your immediate vicinity, just in the library, and she continues on her work.
Let's go have a chat.
You know what? I'm all in agreement.
I'm fine not getting involved and keeping this to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's always a good idea to feel it out. It's not so much that we're trying to be aggressive about it. It is the
Rattle the
delicacy.
cage.
Yes.
I'll let you lead this one then.
All right. I'll just go up to her. Hello, Becky. Cool hair.
Looks down her shoulder at you, and that's where we are actually going to end it for tonight.
All right.
Because that is going to be a lovely encounter, and I would love some time to prepare for it. So, all right. Thank you very much to our viewers. Thank you, Jane and Vlas, for helping us out in the chat. Now, let's get into Tim Gruff. Give us your final opinions on tonight's episode.
Nanners was a personal favorite.
Yay.
I don't know, just the absolute insanity with it all ending with, do you have any idea what you're actually saying? Fade to black, family sitcom music playing. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, it was a very enjoyable on everyone's part.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
That's mine.
Good to lovely to have you back with us. And Tim, so you got to sit on your first proper session. Although thank you for hanging out with us for the playtest last week. So please.
So I have concerns because I understood perfectly what Nanners was saying. It made perfect sense. So I think I may have to seek therapy. It's like, oh, that makes sense. So, but I agree that with Grush that was definitely the character that stood out the most. I did like Charlie's performance too as well. That was good too. I did the scorecard, and I did the scorecard. Ryan ended up coming up a little bit higher just because I think the character, but Ryan was going to be my initial one to give but then the little old lady stole the show and kind of that was pretty good. So, but overall, like last time, everybody rose to once everybody warmed up, they took away with it or ran with it rather, and it was good.
All right. Thank you very much, Tim. All right, so I will distribute some gold appropriately, and probably due for a level up shortly. So just think about that, players. Actually, I might say go ahead and plan out your level ups, because after this we are gonna go on our mid or in between month break. And then we will be, please watch the channel for our upcoming May shows. It may be a shorter month for me because I've got a couple other weekend obligations in different parts of the province. But that's me. So, once again, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We love doing this show. We love entertaining you. We hope you're entertained. And we look forward to bringing you more nonsense in the coming weeks. So, good night from me, Mike.
Norder.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you, and good night.